Property Alliance Group was formed 27 years ago by my father, David Russell, and I personally joined the business 2.5 years ago, and we predominantly focus on all sectors, residential, commercial, and product that we have built or refurbished ourselves. We don't tend to buy dry investments, as we like to be able to add our own touch to it. The name Alliance came from our goal of predominantly forming long-term relationships with occupiers, local authorities and JV partners, which inevitably results in repeat business. We're born and raised in Manchester, proud Mancunians, so first and foremost it's the obvious place to invest. But we genuinely, although we're biased, don't believe that there's anywhere better to invest than Manchester. It's got unrivaled ambition, passion and opportunity. One of the biggest things Manchester has going for it is it's busy in all sectors. If one sector does tend to have a dip or lower demand, other sectors top it up. And right now we're experiencing high demand across all sectors, and we're very busy as a result. The other great thing that Manchester has going for it is there's not just one particular location that is doing well or does well. Even in the city centre, there's 4 or 5 different districts that perform well. As we've seen, I say Piccadilly, First Street, Spinningfields, Northern Quarter, and now we're seeing in Noma. But then just as important is outside the city centre. So there's lots of demand and opportunity in South Manchester, North Manchester. We've had great success out at the airport, for example, and also in Didsbury. Sectors, as I say, it tends to go in cycles. One of the biggest changes I've noticed in recent years has probably been the improvement in the leisure sector, actually. We initially down at Spinningfields, for example, they were hugely successful in offices. Retail didn't tend to work too well in that location. They transformed it into leisure with the help of Living Ventures. And I think that has been a big change for Manchester particularly, because it's gone from being a 3-night-a-week city to busy every single night. Not just, say, at Spinningfields, but that's worked at Northern Quarter and now down at First Street. So it's been a big improvement for the city. And then the other big change actually has been connectivity to the city. So Manchester Airport is one of the leading airports in the world. I think there's 220 direct destinations now. And a big game changer recently has been the 2 direct flights to China, so I think Shanghai and Hong Kong. And that has just increased the level of investment into the city centre. Yeah, we're going through a pretty busy patch at the moment. Obviously not been as much development as we'd liked over the last few years, but right now and over the next 2 or 3 quarters we're going to be on site with quite a lot. We've just finished Trident out at Manchester Airport. That was a refurbishment of 86,000 square foot space out there. We were 90% pre-let, and one of the major successes there was been our focus on creating an amenity hub, not just delivering great office space, but having a lot of other facilities on site which helps these companies attract best talent and keep them there. We built a gym, for example, there, coffee facility, lots of breakout space, and the feedback's been fantastic. In terms of next year going forward, development-wise, we're on site with Axis at the moment, which is great to see it finally out the ground. It's a 175 apartment tower at the end of Deansgate Locks. We've already pre-sold 85%, so that's really shows the huge demand for residential space in the city centre. As a result of that, we're going to be starting in May next year on I think it's 350 apartment scheme called Oxygen, north of Piccadilly. And again, real unprecedented levels of demand in that scheme. Both of those will be finished in 2019. We've also now just signed Motel 1 to 3 St Peter's Square, which will be their 3rd hotel in the city again really highlights the increased demand of hotel sector in Manchester. So that's an exciting one. Key development for us, we've purchased in April this year Piccadilly Place with Aries, and I'm excited about launching plans to transform the Piazza probably February next year, and that will be completed mid to end of April. From a personal point of view, I've got a slight bias towards office space because that's been my background pre-Alliance, and we're looking forward to going live and starting on site probably March next year on 55 Portland Street, which will be a comprehensive refurbishment, delivering about 82,000 square foot of high-end office space with lots of those amenity facilities that I was discussing earlier, but don't want to give all our cards away just yet. Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, one of our key goals and strengths is our alliances. One of the most important alliances we've formed over the years has been with Manchester and obviously the council. We're constantly looking to see how we can assist Manchester in promoting the city and obviously improving wherever possible. One of those areas is MIPIM, obviously. Also, Manchester International Festivals is a great scheme, and we've been a partner of that for a number of years. I think the biggest change for us is by becoming a partner and sponsor. It allows us to get involved at the early stage and help with the planning for MIPIM next year, and hopefully we can contribute to making it one of the best MIPIMs yet for Manchester. Yeah, I think there's probably two things that we want to achieve out of MIPIM. The more Manchester continues to improve, the better for the city, but also for us. You know, it's our home and where we base our work from, so if Manchester continues to improve, then we will. So we want to just help as much as possible raise awareness of the opportunity in the city, the amount of talent that there is in the city, and then as a result improve the investment. From a personal point of view, we obviously are there to also raise awareness of our own schemes. We're obviously selling the residential to UK investors, but we're seeing an increase in demand from overseas. There's a lot of demand from China and the Middle East, as well as mainland Europe. So it just gives us that platform to promote our schemes out there to people that normally we wouldn't see every day in Manchester. Likewise with the office space as well. More and more seeing European and overseas companies wanting to have a presence in Manchester. So by us being there alongside Manchester, it gives us the opportunity to show off our own schemes. Obviously big change next year, Sir Howard Bernstein stepping down. I'm quite excited to see what happens there. He's leaving Manchester in a fantastic position. But more importantly from a position where we can build from. So it's great to see there's been an early appointment of Helen Roney, but also excited to see who the new mayor is. I think the prospects of those two people in that position working together is really exciting. We obviously are excited by being as involved as possible, continue to produce some of the leading developments in Manchester and the wider region. So really just, I think, you know, we're coming from a very high point already. We've got increasing investment coming into Manchester. Look how much has happened over the last 10 years. So to see what could happen over the next 10, and mainly maintain us as one of the best places to, I guess, live, learn and work in Europe.